You may know somebody with mobility issues or somebody aging who wants to stay in their house. Well, we have got a brand new project here in Lexington, Massachusetts, where we're working with an active family of 5 who needs to make their house more accessible for their young son. That's it. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to a brand new season of This Old House. Today, I'm in historic Lexington, Massachusetts, a town that is known for the first battle of the American Revolution. It's also a town that we've worked in before. It has got a great collection of old homes, and we've renovated a few of them, some colonials, some colonial revivals. Now, people come to this town all of the time to learn more about Lexington's involvement in the Revolutionary War and to learn how that is celebrated and honored every day. In fact, there are historic guides touring this town almost every day of the week.
When the soldiers arrived at the Lexington Common, they met up with the Lexington militia. Among them was my great-great-grandfather, who was one of the 12 men that were killed in that battle, and he's actually buried right around here.
Tommy?
Sonny, the tour for the British is over there.
Hi. Hey, newsflash, Pops, you know, you've got a job. You don't need to do this.
He wouldn't understand. He didn't grow up here. So, as I was saying, growing up here in Lexington, we appreciate the significance of the shot of the battles of Lexington and Concord, April 19, 1775.
Must have been exciting, Pops, to be there. What was it like to hear that first shot back
Sonny,
then?
have some respect for Lexington history. I'm working here. Can't you see that?
Nice knickers. I have no idea what's going on.
Not easy.
I thought this was going to be a regular introduction. I guess not. Anyway, unlike our tour guide back there who was stuck in the past, this town is not. It welcomes people from all over with some modern day amenities, and it makes sure that this town is accessible for everyone. The town has taken measures to be ADA compliant. That's the American Disabilities Act of 1990, and it protects people with disabilities in all areas of public life. So you'll see things like wide sidewalks, ramps, buses with wheelchair lifts, and these, curbless crosswalks with detectable warnings. A quarter of Americans have some form of disability, and half of them have mobility issues. That, along with an aging population, means there is good reason to make our communities and our homes more accessible. Our project house is just a few blocks from here, and our mission is to renovate a mid-century modern home. We are going to make it accessible for an active family of 5 that has a young son losing his mobility. Lexington's got some great public transportation. Charlie, are you moonlighting too?
Born and raised here.
Unbelievable. Mark, you too?
I'm a townie too.
No kidding.
All right, where to?
To the house.
To the house, I guess.
A little known fact, I grew up in this town. I lived in a house that was built in the 1700s that my mother was born in, and all my brothers and sisters were raised in. And I learned my trade working in that house as a young kid.
Michelle, good to see you.
Hey, good
Billy,
to see you, Kevin.
pleasure.
Hi, Kevin. How's it going?
That's going all right. How's it going with you guys? You ready for this?
Yeah, we're ready.
Are you excited?
Excited, a little nervous, but also very excited.
Well, it's a big project with a good mission. So, tell us the story. Give us a little background.
We just moved here recently, a family of 5, so 3 kids, one of whom has a rare disease.
Right.
So we're looking to make some changes to adjust to that.
Right. So accessibility is a big item on your list, and the house is not as accessible as you'd like.
That's exactly right. That's the main idea. So of the 3 kids, it's our middle son that has what's called Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. And what that is a progressive muscle wasting disease, so that over time he's going to lose his ability to walk. He's already having a lot of challenges with stairs right now. And so everything that we're really doing is to try to make sure that he has equal access to the house as much as anybody else does, and we can all be much more connected as a family.
And in terms of the house as it exists now? How does it work for his mobility, and sort of how far do you want to take it?
Yeah, one of the main reasons why we got this house is because we have quite a bit of living space all on one level, including some bedrooms, which is great. And so that has been working so far for our son and for our family, but it's definitely not ideal. I mean, so for example, the primary bedroom is actually right up here above the garage. Caffrey's room is way on the other side of the house. And especially if he needs something in the middle of the night, it's impossible for him to come upstairs.
Right.
And so we really want to be able to try to solve for that problem in particular.
Sure. Well, that's completely understandable. I can imagine that is not an ideal situation. And as you say, you know, Caffrey's condition is rare.
Yes.
It's certainly unfortunate, but that need for mobility is actually not that rare. I mean, it's something that we're all going to be struggling with, whether it's caring for our parents or a loved one or our own situation. You know, it's going to be something that we have to address. So the challenge that you face, while very specific and, as I said, unfortunate, is a challenge that I think appeals and applies to many people. So tackling your personal situation, we're looking forward to helping you with that, but also just, you know, sharing those solutions with the big audience as well. So that's going to be good.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Billy, I know Tommy's got his eyes on you, but maybe, Michelle, you can show me inside and give me a better lay of the land?
Let me show you around.
All
Come on
right.
in.
Thanks.
Hey, Billy.
Hi, Tommy, how are you?
I'm good. You ready to get started?
Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
Oh, good for you. Well, this is going to be a great project. You know, I grew up in this town. I did a lot of work in this town. I actually worked on that house right up there many, many years ago. And I know about these mid-century modern houses because I worked on a lot of them. The mid-century modern have a low pitch, a lot of glass on the south side, and they're usually on a slab.
Yep.
But your lot really pitches down, so you have 2 stories on the back side.
Yeah, the first edition, we think was a 2-level piece done on the back.
Yeah, to the original mid-century modern right here.
Exactly. And then the garage at some point was a detached garage, and then they did this piece in the middle, but it's very disjointed and kind of draws your attention incorrectly from the street.
Yeah, you definitely don't want the garage to be the focal point. You want the main house to draw people in, and it just, you know, the garage is too overpowering. I don't know what's going on with that. Is that a chimney or a fireplace in there?
It's a faux fireplace. There's no flue or anything there, so we use it as more display. It's a bit of an alcove, but
Yeah.
as you can see from the brickwork on the outside, it's got a few water issues. So we're going to look to take that out.
Right.
The priority here is the accessibility. So we're going to use that new space to run a ramp from the driveway over to the right, a nice gentle slope to a new front door.
Right.
And then that'll give us a new focal point for the front of the house as well.
Oh, absolutely. It will change it all around nicely, and you get your accessibility in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do. If you look at the height of the front door in relationship to the grade right now, I mean, there's 2 good steps right there.
Yeah, we've already done some work to try to make it accessible, even in the short term. I've put my woodworking skills to the test and
Really?
put a ramp together myself.
Wow, I like to see how talented you are.
It's here in the garage.
All right. I got to say, a 3-car garage, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I have a 1-car garage, and I have a hard time getting my car in it.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. I did a little short to medium term solution
Yeah.
for us
great.
in a ramp.
Yeah, yep. Oh yeah, some 2x3s. Looks some birch plywood. Nice job there. I like it. It's all screwed together. That's pretty cool. Now, if you were building one of these and you want to comply to the code, it has to be 1 in 12. So every 12 inches you go in, it's 1 inch up. 2 feet in, 2 inches up. But for this right here, this is perfect.
Yeah, it works for now, and I think that the ramping that we'll do for the other parts here in the garage as well out front
Yeah.
will be a much more easy slope.
Yeah, we'll follow the code on that one, that's for sure. And it's better if it's even a little less. But we'll see what we have for room.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I got a ping pong table here. Where's the paddles?
So here we are in the foyer.
Oh, yeah. Big foyer.
It is a big foyer, but it's a bit of a weird and awkward space. And we've put a sofa here because we had one, but it does.
In case you want to nap in the foyer.
Well, why not? Why wouldn't you, right?
Sure.
But it is a bit of a weird place
Yeah.
because you can see all the windows, which is nice to have the light, but it is a bit of a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Right?
So a lot of space, maybe some wasted space.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And then these stairs, they head up to the primary bedroom, right?
Okay.
So again, one side of the house, that's where we are.
Above the
Everybody else
garage.
is over there.
In transit, getting ready to move, or is this the workout space?
Yeah, you know, I always love to work out in the foyer. But no, it's actually the only place in the house where we can put this because Billy is 6'5", and we'd love to have it in the basement, but the ceilings are way too low.
Okay, so plenty of space, but maybe not used most efficiently.
Exactly.
As we come around the corner.
Right, so this is the main living space in the house, the kitchen and the living areas.
Oh yeah, opens right up, huh?
Yeah.
So what room is this? How do you use it?
So we call it a living room, but it's really an in-between room, and we don't really spend a lot of time here.
You know, we see a lot of living rooms that people do not use, a bit of formality that we don't enjoy anymore.
Yeah.
Although they do enjoy fireplaces, and you've got one very prominently displayed. Does it work?
We do, but it's totally decorative, and not only does it not work, it actually is a bit of a problem. So all of this brick actually leaks, and so the very first rainstorm that we had a bit of a lake happening here in the fireplace. And then actually even when we had a cold snap a couple of days ago, this turned into an entire frosty fireplace.
Not a fireplace, a water feature.
Yes, exactly, that's
All
right.
Well, I like the ceiling height. It sort of connects all the rooms as you come between here. Really nice.
That's right. So this is what we would call our family room, and this is actually where we spend most of the time in the house.
Not surprising to me at all. It's a gorgeous room.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite room in the house. And
Right.
you know, here's where I think that you can actually pick up a lot of these mid-century modern characteristics. You see these brick walls over here, very quintessential of this mid-century modern design. We have it on 3 different sides of this room.
Yeah.
And you can actually see this unique chevron-shaped wall here, and it's mirror imaged on the other side of the room. And I think it gives it just a lot of character from that era, which is really special.
And this is the original structure.
This is.
So this is the original surface material as well, probably.
That's right.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And then just walls of glass, which means lots of light flowing in.
Yeah, I think this is another thing that makes this room just so lovely to be in. And this is actually my favorite seat in the house. A lot of it is because you have this great character around, but also a ton of light. So this is where I love to be able to spend my time, especially when the family's here.
You picked a good one.
Yeah.
As I walk through here, though, Michelle, this is not what I'm used to walking through when we're going to renovate a house. I mean, this looks immaculate, and it is beautiful. I'm not expecting a renovation to go on.
And we want to keep it that way, right? So our plan is really to keep this room almost exactly as it is.
Oh,
really
nice.
just some windows, new floors, but we really want to keep the character
good.
as it is, and just it's the rest of the house that we really want to try to resolve.
All right, well, let's have a look at that.
Yeah. All right, so let me show you the dining room, right? Mm-hmm. So not a bad space, but
No.
again, it's a little bit tight over here, and thinking ahead to when our son is in a powered wheelchair, this is going to be a real difficult problem for him to navigate.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the prospects of a motorized wheelchair changes your perspective on everything.
It does, right? So when we get to a place of like really thinking about how to make this a much more accessible home, that's certainly one of the things that we're thinking about. We'd really love to open this up a lot more.
Okay, lovely's great, but functional needs to be top of the list.
Right, so here we are in the kitchen, and this actually is the main thoroughfare for Caffrey right now because this is the living space. His bedroom is actually right over here, and so this is actually a narrow space.
It's a galley kitchen.
It's a
Looks
galley
beautiful,
kitchen.
but by design, galley kitchens are narrow.
That's right, and you know, you can imagine this dishwasher is frequently open, drawers are frequently open, we have these warming drawers which don't actually work, but it makes it really, really tight, especially again, thinking about that wheelchair in the future.
And all else being equal, would the family cook together and hang out in the kitchen together if they could?
Yeah, ideally we would, but we don't really think that this is a conducive space for us all to be in here together, so we really want to be able to open up this big room so we can get all 5 of us in here.
Sure.
And have it as much accessibility as we possibly can.
Okay.
Let's go this way next. So this is actually one of the primary junctures of the house.
Right.
All right, so just to orient you, we have the lower level down here, we have a living space there, and back over there is the entrance and the primary bedroom way above the garage.
Way back there.
Yeah, and now
then
we've
down
got
here.
kids' rooms, right? Marlo's room's here, Caffrey's room's down there. Right, so you can see actually the quite distance that we have between Caffrey's room and our room, and that's something that we want to address.
So that's 2 kids. There's a third. Is lower level another bedroom?
Yep, the lower level is where our oldest son is. We also have a rec room down there, but you see the stairs, right? This is one of the major impediments for Caffrey being kind of as connected and, you know, integrated with the rest of the house and the family as he could be.
If you can't beat up his brother in his bedroom or get to the rec room, it's just not fair.
That's right.
I totally get it. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, here comes one. Ah, Marlo, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Is this where I get handed off?
Yeah, you want to show Kevin your room? Maybe Caffrey's room?
Sure.
Go for it.
Lead on, please. Oh, yes. Look at this.
So
Cozy.
this is my room. I like it cozy, and I like enclosed spaces, and my bed, it's up high, and I like my desk area.
Yep, lots to like. And I know someone, my daughter, who's going to be jealous about the hanging chair. That's on my to-do list. So that's a nice feature too. Oh, this is terrific. All right. And where's your brother's room?
It's just down here.
Will you lead on? Show me where he is. So you guys aren't too far away, just down the hallway from each other.
Yeah. And one of the problem is how narrow this hallway is. It's going to be inaccessible for him to get through when he's in a wheelchair.
Okay. Well, then this one's on the list.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got back here. Oh, bright and sunny. Very nice.
This is Caffrey's room.
Caffrey, very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Gaming Central back here, huh? Mm-hmm. You got windows to the doors to the outside. Marla, you jealous?
A little bit, yeah.
I bet. This is a nice room.
We got a little party going on back here?
Richard, say hello to Caffrey.
Hi, Caffrey. I'm Richard.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now, here we got to think about getting you a new bathroom.
Yeah.
Why don't you show me what you got now? All right, so here's your bathroom. Let's see. What can we do to this bathroom to make it better? What do you think?
First of all, the step to go into the shower
Stepping up and over it, right.
annoying,
Yeah.
too.
And then the width, too, right?
Yeah.
Look, we'll get rid of that squeak, too.
Okay. Definitely.
Shower, we could probably make this a little bit bigger. You got grab bars here, but we got to think about making sure the grab bars not only work, but look good, too, right?
Yeah.
How about the faucets? Anything you want to do there?
Make it bigger.
Okay. We're on your team. Okay, good.
So Wicks, you're the oldest?
Yep, I'm 15 years old.
Is that how you got the bedroom downstairs?
Yep, definitely. It's definitely a challenge for my brother Caffrey to get down all these steps. So we're thinking about putting maybe an elevator or something to help him get access to this rec room.
Oh, is that what you got back here?
Yep.
The basement rec room. Very nice. Got to have one of these.
We get friends down here, watch TV,
Yep.
play my guitar.
Yeah, so I would imagine you would not want to be cut out of the activities down here. So it's
Yeah.
nice that you get your brother down here as well, right?
My dad would also like a treadmill, but it's a little short, I guess.
Right. So he's like 6'5" on a treadmill. That'd be a couple
Yeah.
of headaches for him. That'd be possible there. Access to the outside, which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, this is
Great.
great. And in your
Little
bedroom?
patio out there. Oh yeah, very nice place. I would really like my own space away from everyone else. Get my own privacy kind of.
I know the request.
Yeah.
Tuck you away as far as possible. Okay. Well, it's pretty nice though. Love it.
Down here at the lowest level of the building is the existing mechanical room. And you know, when you get on a project like this, you start looking, you say, all right, what can we tie on to? What can we reuse? And there's a 75-gallon water heater here, gas-fired. And there's a furnace. Here's a furnace that's been changed once. You got the old ductwork. That ductwork's been around originally, so 60 years probably. It's gas-fired. And you tend to say, let's sort of build off of it. But this is the moment in this building's history where it really invites us to say, you know what, we're gutting out the entire building, we're changing almost every place in it. This is the time to think about our next heating system. And that means, as dramatic as it sounds, maybe getting rid of all this ductwork. Now actually, some of this ductwork is still in the concrete poured slab in that living room kitchen area, and that's been in there for 60 years down in the concrete. So for us, we're going to look at this building, take the set of plans, analyze it to figure out just how much we need for heating and cooling in every single space, because there's a lot of different boxes. And then we might attack it with different kind of heat pumps where we can move heat from side to side and really make this thing efficient for the next 100 years.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Billy, how are you?
I'm well, thanks.
I'm just checking out your garden space. You have a lot of nice plants here.
Yeah, a lot of the work being done here in the front is going to displace a number of these plants, but they're very nice and we'd like to keep them.
So these look like knockout roses to me, and they're definitely worth saving because they bloom all season long. Right from the beginning all the way to the fall, it gives you constant color.
It's been beautiful.
I think we need to protect them, and we'll dig them up, heal them in somewhere, and so that means to set them aside for transplanting later. What I'm going to do is tag them with this tagging ribbon, and it's going to indicate to Charlie, do not hurt my plants.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, let's check out the backyard.
Excellent. We'd really like to improve and extend this living space out back as well.
I mean, this is a huge space, so it's a lot to play with.
Yeah, we do have a couple of issues, starting with this door right here.
Okay. All right, so I understand that, it needs to be accessible for everybody in the family.
Exactly.
And then one of your goals is to have a zero threshold. So basically you want the floor from inside to be the same level as the floor outside, correct?
Correct, flushed.
Flush. So what we want to do, since you have 1, 2, 3 different entry points, the biggest concern here is drainage. We want to figure out how to pitch all these points out somewhere away from the house.
Excellent.
Okay.
We also have a big idea for this side over here. With Caffrey's muscular dystrophy, getting exercise is very important without encouraging the progression of the disease. So a therapy pool, a swim spa where we can produce a current and get him that exercise out here, as well as added enjoyment for all of us as a family and exercise. If we can get that out here and adding to this space would be spectacular.
Yeah, and that's something the whole family, you're right, can enjoy together. You can do your exercise, and I think the accessibility also to get into the pool will have to be addressed, and that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we'd also like to think about an outdoor kitchen.
Well, I've already been scoping that out, and I was thinking this space would be perfect. If we push back the wall, we gain a couple extra feet and then have it plumbed in, meaning bring the gas line over to it. And I also heard you want a gas fire pit. So that could be addressed at the same time. We could add gas to that. And I really think it's gonna be one unified outdoor living space for your entire family.
This could really be incredible.
Well, Charlie, I think there is an urgency to all of the projects that you do for us, but in this case, that urgency is more real, more acute than it's ever been. Getting this family back in here as quickly as possible is going to make everybody comfortable.
It is. It's about a 14-month job, I figure. We're doing it about 10, but believe it or not, I think I've already saved us about a month. I don't even have plans to pull a building permit, but already pulled the demo permit and starting right away.
Use all the tricks in your bag.
Yeah, and I have to get all my plantings out of the way so somebody doesn't mess them up.
Oh, yeah,
and I'll get on those landscape plans.
And this is our chance to rethink the entire mechanical and to put in an accessible bathroom that's both functional and beautiful.
You're going to have your hands full.
Absolutely.
Accessibility is key to that right there, Richard. We have to think about that in the beginning stages, about making surfaces as flat, transitioning from room to room without thresholds, plenty of room for chairs and bathrooms to move around, and ramps wherever needed in place of stairs.
And rethinking the house, because it is a long, meandering home, as we just noticed. So a lot of work ahead of us, but that work actually starts tomorrow. And so next time we're back, we'll be well into demo. So until then, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Tom Silva.
I'm Charlie Silva.
I'm Jenn Nawada.
I'm Richard Trethewey.
For This Old House and a brand new season here in Lexington, Massachusetts.
Excited.
It's going to be fun.
Time to get to work. Next time on This Old House, I'm touring an accessibility showroom to find out how to make each room more functional for anybody facing mobility challenges.
When you dig it for a foundation, the frost line in New England has to be 48 inches from finished grade down. If you look right here, there's not enough.
Multiple additions and an odd flow will show you the architect's smart solutions. So you've got a clean slate to work with in here.
We do.
So what's the plan as we put it back together? That's next time